to Camilla and I've actually got a stag, a king beast in my sights at the moment. Just quick snap for you. Anyway, I'm afraid it's one of those vlogs which we're not allowed to tell you where we are, what wood we're in. All I can say is we're down in the woods, and boy have we got a big surprise for you today on Camilla and I, because we've been in amongst a whole herd of red deer this morning. It's been absolutely superb. This is my third session in the woods, and this has been far the best so far. Anyway, I suppose I better start at the beginning. 3 days ago, we just came to suss out the area and to see what was around. And on the first day, very lucky to get a play fighting pair of stags quite near to the road, quite near to the main road. And got some reasonable footage for you there of the little play fight going on, but it was in a sort of parkland background, which we don't particularly like on Camilla and I, because it looks too unnatural. So I got a good shot of a play fight on the first day. It was quite a nice shot. The antlers, I believe, sort of like formed a ball almost. So I call this one Spot the Ball. Yeah, mad, if you remember such a thing. You used to have to try and predict where the ball was going on the in the photograph, and then if you were successful, you won £1 million. Of course, you had to have the centre hairs dead in the middle of the ball to win the prize, and who was judging that, I don't know. Anyway, I never entered. But anyway, Spot the Ball, stag picture of 2 stags fighting, and I was reasonably close as well. I was able to use my stealthy sneaking up skills, and along this sort of, it was a sort of trodden path, so it was a known route. Anyway, got in on the on 2 stags and a herd of deer, so that was very nice. And then once I'd moved off that encounter, I moved on to more in the forest, and I was very lucky on the cycle route back, so I'm just keeping an eye on this beast. They're all sitting down at the moment, that's why I'm recording this. They're all relaxed in the field, so no animals were disturbed in the making of this video, just to let you know. Anyway, yeah, they were all so on the way back on the first day, I came across this magnificent, I think it was 14-point stag with a few hinds as well on the way back on Superbike, my chosen form of transport, just off the cycle track here. So superb, absolutely superb. Lovely shot. It's probably got a name round here anyway. I'm getting plagued by light aircraft. Back in a minute, I keep losing my train of thought. Anyway, yeah, that's the end of day 1, so that was pretty good. Day 2 in the camper van here in the woods. I didn't have such a successful day as today, but I did catch up with some lovely fallow deer and fallow bucks. So some lovely action of fallow deer, because there's always fallow deer here as well. In fact, the fallow deer are potentially easier to photograph than the than the red deer, the stags and the hinds. So anyway, yeah, so I got that, and also I did get another snap of a stag going away from me, which had obviously done a wallow or something. The fur was very wet or muddy, so yeah, I linked to that one here. And I did get one other snap, I think, of a stag, but really not that successful. Anyway, that leads us on today on Superbike. Quick flip you around. Yeah, here we are on Superbike. We put Superbike, I'm just resting you on the Superbike. We put Superbike in the back of the van, and that's why we come with the van. The van also provides us a nice coffee, yeah, I'm recording this for you. It's about 11 o'clock now, and I should be heading back really, leave these deer undisturbed. But anyway, I'm doing this to camera just for you. Yeah, so don't forget, if you do like what Camilla and I do, and you want to see the footage as well at the end of the video, don't forget, like and subscribe please. Camilla and I sometimes wonder why we do it, but it's days like today. Day 3 in the woods has been absolutely superb. Yeah, I was going, some photographers were heading off in the wrong direction, and I went round the corner and they were going one way, and I noticed on the left, just as they came through the row, there was a whole herd of red deer right in the open, completely open. Anyway, I followed them to the fence post, but I couldn't follow them any further. Another photographer actually followed them on down, and he didn't actually scare them off, but a couple of dogs did, apparently. He told me later. But anyway, I wasn't going to chase them down that way like he did. That's a bit silly. You've got to be very careful. All they'll do is they'll just move off. So there's no point. Wherever you are, they'll go away from you. So all you'll get is going away shots, unless you're incredibly stealthy. Or you've got a mobile phone, like this Pratt here today. Unbelievably, didn't scare the deer off. I don't know why, but literally very steady. I had to hand it to him. He's very steady, but I got a picture of him. You're a plonker, and a bit of video of him. But anyway, for some bizarre reason, the deer must like it here or something, because they didn't go off. I don't know why. They moved a little bit, but they didn't go off. Anyway, so followed the deer. I'm losing track here, so I'm losing train of thought. So I followed the deer down. Well, I didn't follow them down. I guessed where they were going to go, and I knew a track in which to get ahead of them. So I got well ahead of them, and then I've parked up back from where the field, where they're now resting and getting ready for another rut. Anyway, here has been superb. I've never had so many stags in one spot in the woods here before. Absolutely incredible. And I've got some great action for you on Camilla and I today. Anyway, apparently I say far too much on Camilla and I, so yeah. But I'm going to say some more. So, what were we using to get the action today? Before I show you the action, we were using the A1 II and the 300mm, and also there's a bit of a story about why I'm using the A1 II today. On the first day, I forgot to mention my A1 II broke. The A1 II, the shutter curtain fell down on the A1 II, just left a slat open, totally wrecked the camera. Anyway, it's into Castle cameras now. I thought something had woken up then. Anyway, it's into Castle cameras now for repair. Anyway, I was stuffed. I'm doing all this forest work. I'm doing all this woodwork. Yeah, I'm doing all this woodwork. So, what do? I need a camera. I need the A1 too. Well, the shots of the first stag on the first day were taken with the A9 III. Fortunately, I had the camera on me with a wide angle lens in case I could get a sort of atmospheric shot. So I'd taken the wide angle. Anyway, it broke, so I had the A9 III. So the A9 III is the first stag in the shots. Anyway, obviously took my A1 II into Castle Cameras for repair, the Sony, and it's being sent off to Sony. Anyway, I had a bit of a dilemma. What do I do? And they had 5 A1 IIs in stock. So, what did I do? Anyway, I've sold the 600mm and got another A1 II. So that's why we're using an A1 II. Sorry, it's a bit of a long story, but we go on a bit. So when the other one comes back, which will be a free repair from Sony because it's under guarantee, we will have 2 A1 IIs like Jonathan for Safari. So yeah, we're catching them up, but we've pawned the 600mm because I'm so impressed with the 400-800 that I've traded in the 600mm for an A1 II. Well, sort of. So yeah, that's the story on the camera. So today we're in on our subjects, 50 megapixels with an A1 II, the 300mm and the 2x teleconverter, giving us 600mm reach at a maximum aperture f5.6 at f5.6. Amazing. So yeah, brilliant. And I've been wide open at f5.6 and I've been f11 at times on 5.6 when I was trying to get all the stags in the same frame. And varying shutter speed anywhere between 1/500th and 1/1500th of a second to 2,000th of a second for the fight action. Yes, we did indeed play fighting on the first day, but today we did have a little bit of rutting action. 2 of the younger stags definitely went off and had a good spar. And whereas on Monday, on the first day in the woods, it was a sort of playful fight. They were just testing, they were just intertwining those antlers. This was a real full hard head-on crash. So yeah. Anyway, what a session in the woods. I mean, sometimes you just get lucky or you use good stealthy skills. I mean, I don't know what images the Pratt got with the mobile phone, but won't be anywhere near the quality of these ones. Fingers crossed. I want you to get quite close. Anyway, I waffle on far too much. Apologies, like, subscribe, watch to the end of the video. Some great footage, rutting action, superb on Camilla and I. Some great shots. Fingers crossed, you never know till it's in the bag. Anyway, have a good one. Bye from Camilla and I from the woods. Oh, nice.